Welcome back to Book Bingers, the podcast where two best friends talk about books, book spans, book boyfriends, movies, literally anything book related that comes into our mind. And today we're talking about books we would sell our soul for to see come to life on the screen, whether it be big or little.
I will take the silver screen.
I will take any screen you want to give me.
My phone screen.
Now, many book lovers actually hate it when their books come to life. They don't want their books touched. I am the exception, I guess, because I love nothing more than when I get to see it come to life. Now, am I also like, the book was better? Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, but there's just something about seeing something that you've loved so much.
So much.
And just...
But also,
visually.
There are plenty of examples of ones that were done well.
When they nail the casting.
When they nail it and it's giving everything the book gave you, and it then becomes like your favorite, rainy day movie marathon or something to watch. Yes.
And I think some of these have that potential.
Do you know what I mean? Too. Some of them have the potential of going way off the rails.
Some of them could be terrible. Okay.
But some, I think they can nail it. Let's start with the obvious
Let's start with the one that is actually already
in the works of making, and that's Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Okay. We all know that that's supposed to be happening, but we all thought that ACOTAR was going to happen too, and that's apparently no longer.
It feels like Fourth Wing is further along.
It feels like it's further along, and the second I picked up this book, I could see it, and I was like, please. Make this happen. We all saw what happened with Game of Thrones and how good we can see dragons become.
Oh, God.
The technology is there. I now have a caliber of what I want my dragons to look like. I know it can be done. Now, can this show deliver? I don't know. But I think they will.
It's Amazon.
Amazon.
And
Michael B. Jordan is behind it.
I will say most shows that I've seen on Amazon...
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Don't sleep on Prime.
Prime comes out with some absolute...
Prime, Apple TV.
Yeah.
Some of these,
some of my favorite shows.
By
the way, Shrinking, Season 2.
Coming back
in the fall. I'm...
Random, but we really like that
sorry.
show.
If I didn't tell her now, I wouldn't tell her later. It's fine.
Fair. Tell me you have ADHD. Fourth Wing. Okay, that's the obvious one.
Yep.
It is in the works. But how many shows have we seen be in the works that nothing has come to, which leads us to ACOTAR. Now, this is one that I think could go really poorly.
It could go real corny.
I'm just thinking it could get really good as the seasons go on, but I'm just thinking, can we get past the first season with the fox masks and the ears and the worm and the riddle? Can we get past it? Because if we can get past the first season of what I can only assume would be kind of cheesy, and we could get to the second one.
I think with the right budget.
With the right budget. The right people. The right screenplay.
Did you see that Sarah J. Maas was tagged in a photo with Reese Witherspoon?
I did see that. But can I tell you, I hope it's because one of her other ones, like Throne of Glass, is coming to life. Yeah, I think that would be the better one.
Makes 3 Horcruxes out of my soul and take them to make Throne of Glass. Do you know what I mean?
Although my heart lies with ACOTAR in the books, visually, I want to see the epic battle of Throne of Glass.
And I need it on HBO. I need an HBO level Game of Thrones.
It needs to not be Hulu. It needs to not be Netflix. Yeah. It needs to be bigger, more meaningful, and with people that are proven to bring books to life.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah. You can just... Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it. And this one doesn't lend itself to anything that could be cheesy. This one is straight...
Action.
And the things that bothered me about the book could be easily done visually in the show that would be so much better.
And I think that you will pull a larger male audience with Throne of Glass.
Oh my God, Corey loved this. Where ACOTAR, he was like, meh.
I think you're going to get just straight fantasy people.
Yeah.
Which is a much broader group of people.
I absolutely agree. It just is epic.
Ugh.
And because there's like 7 books, it lends itself to more seasons. And that's what we want. And it's done. It's done unlike Game of Thrones where we just had to make it up and the ending sucked. This one's done and the ending has the payoff you've been waiting for. And I visually just want to see it come to life. I would sell all of it.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Just for Kingdom of Ash alone.
Because I feel like if we can get one of Sarah J. Maas's done.
It's Dominoes.
Dominoes.
Absolutely.
Because I think the last one that would come would be Crescent City, which unfortunately I think would be the easiest one to make.
I do too.
I think it would be super easy, but they're not going to make that one.
I do too. And you know what? After we had just talked about sci-fi, I feel like that's one of the reasons why I like Crescent City so much is because it has that like sci-fi feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
In that modern twist.
And the romance.
You know?
Crescent City doesn't get the love it deserves.
No, it really doesn't.
And I feel like if it had been written by anybody else, it would be way more popular. But because it's by SJM, they keep comparing it to 2 other series that actually are very, very different.
Yeah.
And Crescent City is...
But man, Crescent City would make a phenomenal show.
And pretty easy, I think, to make. Like, I just think
I like watching that girl on TikTok that makes those scenes of
Bryce. Oh, love it. Also, can I have a drop party?
Oh, all I want.
All I want. Okay, moving on. Outside of the obvious Rebecca and SJM, let's move on to some other ones that maybe you didn't think we would say. They're not all fantasy. Let that be known. But
the next one is.
And it is our newest obsession, Spark of the Everflame. This one is giving also epic, but way more like magical.
Yeah.
You know, like it's got just everything I want to see. It's got fun creatures. It's got a good like world.
Yes.
Like so much world in the way that
different
Game of Thrones
landscapes
had maps where you'd go here and here and here and here. That's what this one has. Yeah. Totally different landscapes, battles, love, creatures, magic, and I want to see this. I want to see it so bad.
Oh, God, it would be so good. Oh, it would be so good.
I want to see it so bad as I'm just over here waiting for the ending that I know is going to be epic.
I know. It cannot come soon enough.
It can't.
I might just have to reread it.
Like, can we just get like a fantasy network?
Right? There's enough of us out there.
There's got to be a market for,
that, right?
you know, fantasy TV, FTV. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
This one, so the other ones I actually want to see as TV shows. This one I kind of want to see as a movie.
A straight, like
movie, Hunger Games.
One movie per book.
One part, yeah.
I feel like that would be amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, given the length of like book 3, I could see it needing to have part 1 and part 2.
1, part 2.
Yeah, already. But,
so good.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right? Like the way Hunger Games did it? Get out of here.
Listen, it all goes back to...
Because that first book has a little bit of Hunger Games happening in it.
Yeah, it does.
Some trials, if you will. And I was like, oh, I'm here for it. But then the second book, I was like, oh, wait, what's happening? Like, it just kept doubling down on itself and getting more epic. I need to make Corey read it. He'd love it.
Yeah, he would. I actually told John to read it too. Maybe they can buddy read.
Oh my God, I'd love that.
Corey will do laps around him. But.
So... non-fantasy.
Yeah.
Can we just bring something by Abby Jimenez to the screen? I would prefer it to be Just for the Summer because I think that's my favorite one by her. But Part of Your World, so good. Yours Truly, so good. I don't care. Bring any of them.
Yeah, I could see Yours Truly more as like a limited series.
Yeah.
But I could see a movie of Just for the Summer like real easy.
Like a cute rom-com.
Cute rom-com that also destroys you. Yeah, like you don't see it coming. Oh man, that would be so good.
Right? So then that's like really successful, and then we're like, oh, let's go back to Part of Your World, the prequel too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Give it to me.
Wouldn't I love it?
But Abby Jimenez is so great at destroying your soul in the most beautiful way. Where Emily Henry kind of makes you fall in love.
Yeah.
Abby Jimenez is like, oh, you think you're in love? No.
No.
Let me destroy your heart and then I'll build it back up.
Let me just crunch it.
Let me give you some real world shit.
Yeah. But she does it so well.
She does it so well in a way where you're not like bogged down and you're like, this is too depressing to keep
reading.
reading.
You kind of just feel like, oh, she sees me.
She sees you. She does ADHD, anxiety, you know, so many things that so many people deal with in a regular everyday that it doesn't
difficult familial relationships.
Some things are just really heavy, right? Like Colleen Hoover. Sometimes she's so heavy. This is more like, hey, this girl is still thriving and doing this and this, but this is her trauma.
But when she has her moments, she has her moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not all depressing all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. I want to see it come to life. Thanks. Next.
Back to fantasy. A darker fantasy.
Yeah. Different than like epic fantasy. This is different.
Give me this as like an October release.
This one I think would do so well because it's so unique, so different. I've never read anything like this.
One Dark Window.
No.
Ugh. Ugh. I just
arguably one of the best duologies.
Say they hated it.
Who? What?
I know.
One of the best duologies I've ever read.
Absolutely.
And it's going to live up here forever. It's one of the most unique magic systems. And it's dark, gritty. I could just see this being like one of those kind of spooky, suspenseful type fantasies that you're like every week just like, oh, I can't wait till the next episode.
Yeah, you can't drop this all at once.
No.
It needs to be a week.
There needs to be a build with this one. Because like with the magic cards,
yes,
but which are very much giving like tarot card vibes.
It's the same number as a tarot card.
You could actually add a lot to this book, and I'd be fine with it in terms of a TV. Like, oh, I like this take that they took on it because it lends itself to so much darkness and battle within just for the cards, let alone the actual storyline.
And it feels like something that hasn't been done before. You know, that's what I love so much about it.
There's no other book like it. There's no other show like it. It's so unique.
Yeah.
A lot of times I read fantasy books and I'm like, this feels familiar.
Yeah.
But this one didn't feel familiar because there's nothing else like it. If you haven't read it yet, please go read it. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's always going to be people that don't like things. But what? This is, it is the perfect time of year. We're getting into spooky season. Yeah. It's
One
very
Dark Window
like
and Two Twisted Crowns.
Foggy.
It's just a duology. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like a duology is like the perfect amount.
Size, especially for people that don't want to invest 7 books in, or they don't want to wait forever for the whole series to come out. This one's already out, by the way, and it's so good. It also goes to show that there needs to be more duologies because what you can accomplish in 2 books is pretty amazing. There's no filler book.
It's wonderful knowing that like you get to the end of a book that you really love and you just want a little bit more and you get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you don't spend that second book sometimes frustrated
that it's not moving where you need it to move.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to set up for the next book.
Correct.
The big epic ending of the trilogy.
Correct.
Now, give me a duology. Give me more duologies. This was a perfect example of a fantasy duology that was done so well.
Yeah. And if we're going to talk about that duology, we should talk about the other duology that goes hand in hand that I also think would be
so different.
So different.
This is another one that I feel like maybe you love or you hate. There's a lot of like, it was weird because for a while people were comparing it to ACOTAR, like you're either an ACOTAR girl or a Divine Rivals girl. What? No. How are they even in the same realm? They're so different. So if you've heard that, you can
absolutely be both.
You absolutely can be both, but also what is even the comparison? There is nothing similar about them at all. Make it make sense. This book is sweet.
It is so
I don't know how else to describe it besides it's delightful.
It is, and she has a way of writing that kind of just captures you and you're just lost in the world.
Very like lyrical writing, but done well. And okay, so they're basically both.
It's giving World War II vibes.
Yes, but like not set in our world, but
in a world where gods exist. It's like that magical realism almost.
Mm-hmm. Where there's gods, but the way that their like attire and fashion and stuff is giving 1940s.
Yes.
And you can see it, so it's very easy for your brain to see it, but then there's also like big gods, like almost like Greek mythology kind of gods. Yeah. Like there's like big gods. And there's a war between two gods, but then they're also like journalists on typewriters.
It's so cute.
There's magical typewriters involved.
And it's one of the most epic love stories.
Like, this is proof that you don't need spice to make me fall in love in a way that I was teary-eyed. Mm-hmm. I was giddy. I was like, oh my God, this man.
Roman Kit is... He's up there on the list, I tell you.
Oh my God. It is
crawling through the grass. You know?
It is just giving... Do you remember back when they were making like Pearl Harbor, Titanic, like those kind of like romance movies.
Romance,
but it was set in like a big blockbuster kind of war or whatever.
Yes.
That's how I picture this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like romance. But in
a war. They're in the trench,
yes.
and the bombs are coming,
yes.
and they're exchanging notes with each other.
And they're trying to like stay together, but like still report things they have. Like they're trying to do their job, but also like, that's what I picture. I picture just big epic explosions, but also at the core of it is a romance.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are you writing? Oh, she's adding more to our list, you guys. Yeah. Oh, you want to take it here. Okay.
We're just going to go.
Okay. We're talking too much fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to take it.
Give
the people who aren't fantasy people. Maybe you want a little bit of spice in your life.
Yeah.
Now, 50 Shades
didn't do it well.
But one I'd love to see come to life because the fan base is there.
Yeah.
Hockey romances are having an explosion of a moment.
They sure are.
My favorite, and I think I can say for you too, favorite hockey romance is by Megan Quinn.
Yeah.
And it's the Agitator series. And it's set in Canada, which films are made in Canada every damn day. Yeah. So let's just take me to Vancouver.
Yeah.
And let's go.
I'm trying to think, are there sports romance
Love and Basketball
series?
Series.
You know what I mean?
Like that we've seen on a show.
Would you make this a show or a movie?
Well, okay, so this is hard because it's a book series, right?
Yeah.
So it's
would you pick one book and make one movie?
This one I actually could see on Netflix, right? Where it's like a kissing booth, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Like I could see this one on Netflix, and it's like that fun little romance that comes out, and I think we would have to start with one.
Yeah.
And hope it does well, and then
because I saw someone today actually describe Megan Quinn's books as com-roms.
Yes.
So they're like comedy
forward.
They're
comedy forward.
When the romance hits,
the romance
hits.
I also think a lot of other things by her, like I think Bridesmaids
for
Hire and Bridesmaids Undercover could be great.
Yeah.
And actually the Glenn Powell one was giving that vibe absolutely. It was. So just make it better. Like let's not just hire Sydney Sweeney.
Get Glenn Powell again.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's actually who I pictured in that book. So I was like, well, this is perfect. But in terms of hockey, I feel like we'd have to pick one, fall in love with the side characters and demand more.
So start with Halsey?
I mean, I would prefer to start with Halsey, but
start with the book boy, yeah.
We're jumping deep if we're starting with Halsey. We're not building up for much if we're starting with Halsey, but
true. Start with Posey?
Girl. Let's just start with the sexiest ones and work our way backwards. I am here for it.
I'm wondering if there's a way that you could combine all of them. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I think if we did a TV series, we could, we could follow, this week's episode.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because the last one you just put on here, which is Chestnut Springs, the whole time I was reading it, I was like, this is Yellowstone for romance lovers. It is, give me the ranch romance.
Yeah.
Give me the ranch romance. Okay, when we were watching Twisters and it brought up the bull riding and he's like, I used to be a bull rider. I was like, oh my God, I can see it.
Okay, again, can we make this in cast Glenn Powell?
Listen, everyone that's saying he's turning into Chris Pratt, you don't know what you're talking about.
But also, there's like a large portion of people who are like, he's not attractive.
They're crazy. He is giving me everything I need. They didn't see Twisters then because the walk he walked.
The cowboy hat? I don't know. Something just hits different.
Can he be in MegaCon this year? Because
oh my God, I would lose my
mind. I would die.
Fastest money I've ever spent.
For sure. Anyways, do you see, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing how absolute red I'm actually turning just talking about Glenn Powell. So imagine me actually seeing him in real life, which if you want to imagine it, Sarah could describe it, because when I saw Robbie Amell, I don't know what happened to me.
It's like her cheeks all of a sudden just gravitated like all the way up here,
like chipmunks,
and she was just, I mean, you didn't need blush for days.
No.
It was like,
oh, it looked like I had a sunburn.
Like, did he just make eye contact?
Oh my God, I think he just looked at me.
Is he looking at us? How?
He's also,
can I zoom in?
He's also the most handsome man I've ever seen in real life.
I also would cast him in Agitators.
Which character?
I mean, he looks like Posey on the book.
Yeah.
He really does.
And
he plays hockey.
Could you even? He's like, and because he's like, he's got the smile and the dimples, he's got to play the goofball. You know what I mean?
I could see him down a bologna sandwich.
I could see him downing many things. For those of you that are like, who's Robbie Amell? Because nobody else at MegaCon seems to know who he is.
Go watch everything that he's in, basically.
Go watch Upload. Go watch The Duff.
What's that other one that they did?
Code 8.
Code 8 and the
He was also like, his brother was in Flash, so he was in Flash a few times. And Arrow. His brother was Arrow. So, but we're not talking about Steven. We're talking about Robbie.
Robbie's where it's at.
I was like, oh yeah, he's very handsome on all the shows we watch, but in person, I don't even know. The camera
literally,
lies.
All he had on were jeans and a white t-shirt. Shirt. Get out. Get out. Get out. In no line, and we didn't spend money and meet him. What is our
And then
problem?
we were like, let's do it. And then
they were like, there's nothing.
Done. It's fine. Anyways, this turned into a Robbie Amell podcast.
Yeah, we love Robbie.
Chestnut Springs would be great.
It would.
If you haven't read Chestnut Springs series, it's by Elsie Silver, and it's giving like bull rider, cowboy, ranch romance. And it's something I never thought I'd be into. And here I am, really into it.
Yeah, we could use some more bull riding romances. Right?
Yeah. Like,
there's just something about it.
I would like to see that visual come to life.
You could, and then you got Bo, like in the bar.
But you know who else you have? You have the age gap with a nanny, and
Willa and
Cade are my favorite in the series. I mean, and then you've got Theo, like, but then you also have like a ballerina
and a hockey
player. So yeah, you know, worlds collide.
I'm just saying, I think it could be great.
It could be so great.
I would sell my soul. Yeah.
Give me Elsie, make it happen. Reese, if you're watching, go meet up with Elsie Silver, make this happen.
But I'm real excited that Sarah J. Maas is spending time with Reese Witherspoon. That makes me...
I just really... Let's go. Because her books are already out, right? So, like, what else would Reese have to offer except
funding for a movie or a show?
I just saw on a TikTok today, if Onyx Storm and the next ACOTAR book came out on the same day, which one are you reading first? I know my answer, but what's your answer?
ACOTAR.
ACOTAR for me too.
If you're telling me that I can go read Reese again?
All day, every day. Which, funny, I'm rereading the series right now.
To be fair, we would read both of them in a time where people were still reading.
They were on chapter 4.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, It would be okay. I would just shut down my phone for a couple days.
Correct. I wouldn't eat.
No.
I'd have to. I'd be like,
someone
Corey,
would have to come feed
my
me.
mouth would have to be open and you'd have to throw it in. IV bag. These are ones I would sell my soul. Are there other ones I would love to see come to life? Legendborn. Yes. Like there's other ones I would love to see come to life, but these are the top ones that I
would make me lose my mind.
Think about on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
What do you think about Butcher and Blackbird becoming to the screen, if you will? I think it's a weird choice.
Will I see it? Yes.
Absolutely. But I'm still trying to be like, of all the dark romances that are out there. Wait.
But
I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I liked the book. Do I want to see some of these scenes come to life?
My question is like, are they going to play up the comedy of it?
I hope so, because that's what made it so unique for me was the comedy aspect. I don't want to see the ice cream scene.
Ugh.
Like I can't. And yet I'm going to have to see it.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll add a little more romance to it, because I think that's what was kind of lacking for me was this like actually took place over like multiple years. This book.
Yeah, it took a very long time for them to actually get together.
At all.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how they
do it.
Also,
some of the spicy scenes are...
I'm interested to see how they do it.
Yeah.
I am interested. Yeah. But, yeah. All right. Well, that's our quick one.
Yeah. And what would you sell your soul to see?
Give us something different. I'm curious.
What did we miss?
I'm sure we missed a lot by other people. I'm sure there are people watching this that are like, can you stop
talking about the same freaking things over and over again? I'm so sorry. No.
It's tattooed on my body. I'll talk about it forever.
Sorry to disappoint you.
But next week, we'll have something totally different, and we may or may not talk about SJM.
Yeah,
Tune in to find out.
See. Bye.